Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Bottom left hand corner we got Tom starting as the light yellow, or banana yellow if you prefer, Zerg. Upper left hand corner we got the industrial gray ggnore. I should just rename all the colors eventually, and then I will settle on the name of the colors I like. Magenta should stay magenta, just because magenta is fun to say overall. This is going to be on Polestar. Game 1 went to ggnore in pretty straightforward fashion, went for the double racks, although the timing was a little bit off of it, I felt. Maybe it was because it was middle of the map. But went for the 2 racks aggressive play and ended up overtaking Tom. I wonder if he's going to go for a heads-up game this time. Might be a little bit harder to execute cheese, potentially. I guess if you're going central map double racks again. I don't know that Tom Overlord will be able to see that. It is going to be able to see the... apparently this, like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, this was shooting down rebels, or they mothballed the thing that was shooting down the rebels here at least. That actually would be nuts if StarCraft and Star Wars... Okay, Disney needs to buy Microsoft, I guess. I mean, we're all headed to a gigantic mega corporation anyway, right? We just need to accelerate this. Disney should buy Microsoft, and then StarCraft and Star Wars can literally just be the same universe. And everything would suddenly make massive sense. The Protoss are just the Jedi, who did whatever over time. The Zerg were the Sith progenitors. They just became ultra organic and advanced or whatever. And Terran was just the Empire who took over everything, and then people migrating, whatever, right? We can all agree on this? Anyway, a little bit more of a standard opening from ggnore. This time dropping the racks. This is one of the... So Polestar's got the double eggs, does have the minerals on the ramp to mine out. That's not going to be a factor here. I'm just trying to remember that for my own edification down the line. I want to remember what ramps have the single mineral field, double mineral field, etc. Looks like we've got an 11 hatch out here from Tom. Initially sent the drone scout out, and then immediately drew back as the Overlord is sitting in the sweet spot outside of initial barracks vision, but has vision on ggnore's base. In the meantime, ggnore heading... If he just goes for the clockwise scout, he will end up coming across Tom's base in the final position. And if he continues the scouting pattern, he might end up with a few Zerglings in his face as well as he's scooting across that southerly route. And I think that is going to be the case. That is, if Tom invests in Zerglings early. Missed the timing on that extractor, but I think that was around... I think when it finishes at 231, it's around the 206 or 207 mark. Need to start putting that in my pile of things to memorize for casters. Marine behind the lines right this second to go ahead and blockade out. It looks like ggnore wants to go for racks into expand, which he should be able to execute without too much trouble here. Nothing really threatening him. Initial... Oh, the drone! Okay, almost missed. Nice redirection here from Tom. Here comes the SCV. Looks like the Zerglings are not getting constructed. It's going to just be drones. Wow, no Zerglings constructed from Tom as he's mutating layers, so giving full vision to ggnore as he makes his way in. Not even a blockade on the ramp. That would actually be kind of cute, actually. Spending all of his larva, looking very 2-base. This is just, everything right here is exemplifying 2-base Zerg into Mutalisk opening here. Overlord's in the corner. It looks like eggs are being opened up from ggnore. I think he sees the lack of Zerglings and definitely wants to pressure at least a sunken colony out. Is sitting along the route. I don't think he sees the Overlord. I don't think he has range to get it. But that was actually a little bit odd from ggnore. He actually displayed the entirety of the Marines along that corner. It would have been better to actually just hide them out to the corner so that Tom didn't have a really good instinct of how many he needed to send out. This is odd as well. 2 Zerglings going out to the right-hand corner. 4 Marines initially pushing out. Huh. Alright, gonna turn around and didn't get confirmation on a sunken. Just walked them across the map and then immediately walked back. Maybe he was just hoping that the walkout... Maybe that was the point for ggnore hugging along that edge. Was just to say, yep, I'm coming. And in reality was not. Second barracks up. He's gone 2 racks academy. In this build order, we've got a handful of Zerglings making their way out on the map, and it looks like Tom is going to drop that third as it spires about 1/3 finished, and he's tacked on that second extractor. This is looking more typical. Tom diving the Zerglings in is able to get a handful of Marine kills, and he's going to be able to scoot into the main with this initial Zergling to scout the build order. Is he going to see the engineering bay timing along that corner? Might be able to get a, well, depends on how long he keeps the Zergling alive. He did upgrade speed, keep in mind, at least that was revealed to ggnore. So, and with that indicator, it kind of gives you an idea of the Mutalisk count and also a little bit of info on layer timing depending on what order. This is an odd, I was expecting the 6 o'clock base. So just to go ahead and do a map reveal, I was expecting a 6 o'clock more defensive base where you can defend against the ramp. Instead, Tom, I've seen a lot of Zergs doing this, and they're like, well, if I grab the natural expansion, then I can just grab the top right as well. And then I'm at 4 gas, which is true. You are at 4 gas in that instance, but this is much harder to hold, and you can't really abuse the ramp line in comparison to... Marines have trouble walking up and down hill, and you can really abuse that with Mutalisk. It's just a little bit harder to defend. Second Sunken Colony is up. ggnore with a bit of a skeleton crew walking his way down. Bit of a ill-fated expedition right there on his part. Maybe he was trying to... He's, wow, dropping a very fast factory. This is nuts. Does he have... Okay, the Mutalisks are away. He lost a lot of Marines in the space of this. He didn't overstim at the very least. Okay, the Mutalisks in groups of 5. Mutalisks actually taking a decent amount of damage there. There's a stim. And a few more Marines. This is not a threatening ball at all. Tom might want to wait back for a few additional Mutalisks here. We got 1 turret. Second turret is just planning. We're running off 3 racks and a bunker at the natural expansion. 2 turrets along that corner. ggnore actually halting a little bit with his SCV mining as well. Oftentimes you'll see players go up to, Zerg players these days, go up to like 10 Mutalisks in the space of this just to have enough of an attack force to defend any sort of Marine move out. Then they just try to keep track of the army out on the field. Right now, ggnore is really pinned in, but with this fast factory here in the back corner, he does have the option to rapidly make his way towards science vessels. Valkyries have been very, very popular as of late as well. Valkyrie Micro has been somewhat challenging, and Tom pecking away at those SCVs on the corner. And the SCV's drawing back for ggnore, and they're actually going to expend a little bit of medic energy, and I know that's not going to be... That doesn't seem like a lot, but these medics were already low as they were out on the field, and so there's not a lot of stim or support they can give, but 4 turrets now here for ggnore. He's 4 turrets and he's not mining at the natural. His economy is very slowed down. He's actually close to... This is honestly, a crippling amount of SCVs. Tom is actually very near. He's got that 3rd base. Yeah, he's doing a great job of getting that gas immediately established rather than over-focusing on Mutalisk Micro on a comment. But Tom's already surpassing him in supply, and he's very nearly surpassing him in drone count as far as worker to worker. And that is not a great scenario. Full control groups of Mutalisks wandering about the field. The damaged Mutalisk is being drawn back to go ahead and heal up steadily. It looks like we are going to see the Valkyrie build overall. We've got the control tower in place. We got the armory in place. You know, it would be actually an interesting change. I think it would be breaking actually, but if Valkyries could be built without the without the control tower along that edge, I'm wondering how that would actually shift the game as far as a balance patch. That's just me like food for thoughting this. Throwing it out, wondering how it would adjust things. Is +1 weapons finished? I don't... Okay, +1 weapons is complete, at the very least. Range complete as well. Plus, a very late +1 weapons upgrade here from Tom. I think he recognizes that he's in a fairly strong position here. Is getting the Queen's Nest, wow, the bottom right. Maybe he's waiting for a comsat and hoping that there's going to be a scout. These are the control overlords, by the way, on the Mutalisk. They're drawing a little bit far. Tom might want to readjust here. If I would play this and try to Mutalisk Micro at all, you just see this Overlord float into your opponents. I'd be donating free Overlords all the time anyway, but... Valkyrie, first Valkyrie out. We don't have any Scourge in the field, but the Marine medic count is just really, really flagging here. The medics have been able to recharge a bit of energy, but not a considerable amount, and honestly not enough where I would consider them a threat. The Mutalisks getting absolutely ransacked by that single Valkyrie, though. The Valkyrie still stands. 4 Mutalisks wiped out of that ball, and 2 additionally were more or less crippled. And that's as +1 weapon was being invested in, by the way. The drones not getting... Lazy drones, get on the lines. No lurkers out in the field, but lurker tech just finishing up. I should say no Hydralisks out in the field to morph to lurker tech as of yet. So ggnore making his way out. At least is going to be able to get an Overlord or 2, because Tom drawing the Overlord's a little bit too close. Looks like he wants to go ahead, actually saves the Overlord by pushing that Valkyrie back. Is he going to stay in the field? The more he waits here and the more he dives on these unfavorable trades, the more he's encouraging ggnore to press into him, and I don't think he's got lurkers prepared just yet. He's got 5 lurkers morphing here. He's got Hive on the way. He's a little time away here from Hive. A big ball for ggnore making its way out. The problem here now for ggnore, though, is it's kind of suicide. Or I should say it's not all in. He needs to score something, and he needs to just throw units out and hope for the best wherever he goes. Against these 5 lurkers, part of the problem with this is once you have lurkers out, because the Valkyries, that really slows down detection, so you're just relying on comsat. But Tom's light on units. He's got 40 drones, which means he's only got 27 supply, which is adjusting now. The Overlord getting picked off. He just doesn't have a lot of supply. He's got 2 lurkers and 2 sunken colonies, which I don't know if that's enough, honestly, against this. The big advantage here is just lack of detection and lack of science vessels. That being said, Tom's still in a fantastic position. Hive is complete. Looks like he's drawing back just in case there is a drop, so going to reserve 2 lurkers to the back corner, just in case there is a switch to the drop ships in the midst of this. You can see he's fanning out, recognizing that would be the one way to kind of drop in this match. More Munals making their way along that left-hand side. That kind of shocks me. Some Scourge getting picked off. 3 Valkyries is usually the sweet number. We're going to see, and he's actually going to go ahead and scout ahead with all of this as well. He's going to get an additional... Well, is going to donate his Valkyries, but he does get eyes on the Defiler Mound at the very least. And is going to lose that as well. I'm actually, given the game state, I was waiting for ggnore to make a little bit more of aggressive play. Instead, it looks like he's positioning to go ahead and grab a 3rd and try to play more towards a long game. He is sitting on a light medic count. He's only got the 4 medics, it looks like. They have regenerated a lot of energy, but now this 3rd with the 5 lurkers in position is looking much more challenging to bust. It looks like he's waiting on that siege tank. But I don't know. We'll see. The Defiler is going to be up. We're going to have Defilers. Do we have Consume researching? Doesn't look like Consume's researching. The Lurker's backing off the line. Going to buy some extra time for Tom. That Spore Colony is going to get wiped out. That's not what ggnore needed to focus on. Here at the Natural Expansion, really needed to focus on those Sunken Colonies first. We do have Consume upgrading, and I think Tom's got some spare time to work with. He's got a solid economy. Is actually going for a massive counterattack, actually, as he's sneaking out. Additional creep colonies getting dropped. This is very patient here from Tom, just dropping some additional creep colonies to go ahead and slow this down. Is he going to go for the flank? Okay, never mind. Not going for the counterattack. Is going to cut off reinforcements in no man's land and go for a 2-pronged attack. We'll back this up. Never mind. He's holding right this second. Yeah, Marines have spotted that army to the north. So this is it for ggnore. It's kind of an attack army on an island. He is getting some drone kills. And now Tom's going. Now Tom's going from both directions. And that should smother this pretty quickly. That leaves Tom up in supply. The Marines have escaped out to the middle of the map. The Zergling's going to clean them up pretty effectively. Where are we? We don't have any upgrades, by the way. Carapace 1 just about to finish. Plague upgrading on top of everything else. And now Tom... He's actually dropped, but after all that exchange, he's dropped behind as far as the raw drone count, but he can re-drone fairly quickly. He's got more than a full... Well, he's got a full control group of lurkers, precisely, it looks like. I thought he had more than that. He does have one in the base. Okay, he does have more than that, just one. Irradiate has just started. We do have that 3 o'clock base up from ggnore. I don't know how long that's going to last, particularly with Defiler, Consume, and all of these lurkers making their way out on the map. Marines trying to hunt and see where this army is coming from, or if he can find... he still doesn't know where the 3rd base is for Tom. We know it's bottom right. He's going to go ahead and grab that 4th gas. Tom, moving forward, he doesn't need to attack into this, but he can end the game if he wants to. It's kind of that half of it. This is just not enough to go ahead and defend against that. And we got Defilers and Dark Swarm now in the Natural Expansion. Covering, and reinforcements not able to get across. They're running across lurker lines. We have latent detection, but that doesn't stop the Dark Swarm. That is going to be GG from ggnore. We're going to go to a game 3. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.